Hey guys, I am Tyler with SecureTeam, your only source for unfiltered underground news. Today, we've got some new footage straight out of China, or should we say straight from the moon, compliments of China, of the new Chinese moon rover Jade Rabbit. And yes, you did hear me correctly. It was a monumental feat as China's Chang'e 3 spacecraft performed a nerve-wracking 12-minute descent and touched down safely on the lunar surface on Saturday, December the 14th at 8:11 a.m. EST. Several hours later, a 140-kilogram, or around 300-pound, six-wheeled rover, aptly named the Jade Rabbit, rolled down a ramp to begin its 3-month mission exploring the lunar rocks and soil. China has now joined an elite club of nations, the US and the old Soviet Union, that have managed to land an intact spacecraft on the moon. Let's take a quick look of the footage hot off the airwaves documenting the rover's descent down onto the lunar surface. Let's take a look. Now, as many of you may or may not know, we at SecureTeam have had a long-standing curiosity in the moon and the substance of its mystery and beauty. We've published many videos which you can find on our channel depicting what we firmly believe are to be anomalous structures, glass domes reflecting the sun off their surface, giant mining-type vehicles, and the always popular alien bases. Now, surely not everything we found can stand the test of scientific scrutiny, but if you look at the evidence, you'll see that a good 75% of it cannot be proven by your basic run-of-the-mill debunking. There is without a doubt a presence on the moon, whether the past or the present, and artifacts on the lunar surface are far and many. We'll take a look at some of our favorite alien lunar structures later in this video, but for now, we'd like to point out some very interesting anomalies in this new footage from China's Jade Rabbit rover. There is no doubt in our minds that these photographs are genuine, because they speak to the anomalous nature of our past findings in the lunar footage, and the oddities found on the surface. We firmly believe that many of the Apollo mission photographs were highly edited and or faked completely. If you compare some of the Apollo mission photos with the new China mission photos, you'll see a distinct difference in where some of the Apollo photos look much too clean with a surface and setting that look as if they were created on a soundstage, whereas the newly released China photos depict a lunar surface more fitting to the standards we'd expect from the moon to look like, where the surface is uneven and covered with oddly shaped rock and debris, and the moon's natural color shines through, a far stretch from the dull gray and white Apollo photos of old. If you look at this particular photo, which was snapped by the Chinese rover, we see a few anomalous rock formations, if that is what they indeed really are. So here we have this image that was snapped by the Chinese rover after it landed on the surface and made its way onto the lunar soil. Now, this photo is very interesting, very beautiful, and it's very telling of what our lunar neighbor truly looks like in all of its splendor and beauty. Here we see more of the brownish, reddish, orangish color that speaks to the undoctored moon photos that we've seen, which you can find online, that show the true colors of the moon and not just the dull black, gray, and white photographs brought to us by the always prestigious NASA and Apollo missions. Now, there's some very anomalous things in this picture. The first image, if you look right here, actually kind of looks like a little alien head. You have an eye here, a mouth. Looks like possibly some sort of Jabba the Hutt creature sitting there, having just slivered up out of the crater to take a peek at the new Chinese rover that has now invaded its turf. However, we do believe this just to be a oddly shaped rock formation, which you can see in clearer photos. However, there are some other very anomalous images, very anomalous artifacts in this photo that I don't believe can be explained away as imaging artifacts. For instance, we have this artifact right here in the upper left corner of the image, right at the top left, and if you zoom in, you will see this object here that is not a solid rock. This thing looks like it has table legs to it. You see a leg here that curves up, another leg that curves back down. You can see through and underneath these legs here. There are holes all through this object, openings all through this object, as if it has taken on some sort of structure here. Now, we don't know what this is, if it's some sort of craft, if it's some sort of ancient alien debris, you know. One of the very interesting things that brings to mind the Mars photos taken by the Mars rovers are, there are a lot of artifacts on Mars that look like alien parts of vehicles that were blown apart, possibly in some war. One of the major theories about Mars that there was a large alien population there that either wiped themselves out or were destroyed by an outside force, because many of the anomalous structures on Mars's surface do take on a mechanical shape, as if they are a part of some sort of vehicle or weapon or mechanical structure. And that is what this object here brings to mind. It does not look like your average moon rock. It definitely has a very abstract shape. You can see through it. There's shadows underneath it. There's shadows next to it. There's circular structures on it, holes. There are what look like curved legs. Very, very interesting, very anomalous. Another anomalous structure that was very interesting to us, if you look even further to the right, up in the right hand top corner, you might have to zoom in here. You can find the download link to this image in the description. You will see up here what looks like an actual building or structure with a door right in the middle there. You can see here, there's a structure here that takes sort of a pyramid type shape. There is the door shaped opening right there in the middle, and the shadow, which completely correlates with what you would expect a building to look like, as it resonates with where the sun is in the sky. And as I said, the shadow on the lunar soil correlates with where the sun is in the sky. So this definitely looks like some sort of building here. I do not know of any rocks that have taken such a precise building-like shape as this. And if you take a look at the rest of this photograph, you will see a lot of other anomalous rock formations or things that don't really look like rocks. But we'll let you download the photo yourself, put it in Photoshop or your favorite image editing software. Take a look at it, because this is the real deal. This is what the moon has always, in my mind, stood to look like. And I believe this is why so many of NASA's images were doctored. This is what the true moon looks like. And this is what we believe NASA was hiding in all those doctored Apollo photos, not showing any rocks like this, not showing any debris like this, not showing the moon's true color, because I think there was something there. You know, this is it right here, guys. This is what the moon really looks like. And I'm actually happy, for one, that China has got a rover up there who will show us, hopefully, unfiltered images of the lunar surface, something that I don't believe we have ever gotten from NASA. And we will be the first ones to upload new photos showing anomalous structures. Be sure to check back right here with us at SecureTeam. We are the only channel who's going to be on top of this, grounding the pavement, getting these new images and new footage out. And we are your only source for new and updated footage that you haven't seen a million times before. So be sure to check back. And as we end this video, we're going to show you a nice little slideshow of some of our favorite lunar anomalies that we have gone over several times and can't find any reason to suspect that they are anything other than what they are. So once again, I am Tyler with SecureTeam. Check back often, subscribe, unsubscribe to all the CGI fakers and copycats out there. Come on over with us, because you know we've got your integrity in mind. So take a look at these moon photos and have a great night, guys. intact spacecraft on the moon. Let's take a quick look of the footage hot off the airwaves documenting the rover's descent down onto the lunar surface. Let's take a look. Your only source for unfiltered underground news. Today, we've got some new footage straight out of China, or should we say straight from the moon, compliments of China, of the new Chinese moon rover Jade Rabbit. And yes, you did hear me correctly. It was a monumental feat as China's Chang'e 3 spacecraft performed a nerve-wracking 12-minute descent and touched down safely on the lunar surface on Saturday, December the 14th at 8:11 a.m. EST. Several hours later, a 140-kilogram or around 300-pound six-wheeled rover, aptly named the Jade Rabbit, rolled down a ramp to begin its 3-month mission exploring the lunar rocks and soil. China has now joined an elite club of nations, the US and the old Soviet Union, that have managed to land an Now, as many of you may or may not know, we at SecureTeam have had a long-standing curiosity in the moon and the Hey guys, I am Tyler with SecureTeam.